We're live. This is the Fade You podcast, NFL Week 5 recap. Matthew James here with Kmart, with Chris Duke. We may get the bucket boy here. I think he was putting the kids to bed. Chris, your thoughts on Ravens -3, Dad?
Harbaugh, do you guys remember Anthrax in 2001? he might receive some tonight from Dad, but I can't fucking believe that, dude. I think the TV showed 4th and inches. You have a chance to put the dagger in him and go up 10 points, and he elects to go up 6. It's just, I don't know. I mean, obviously the non-sports bettors of the world wouldn't understand the spread, but kind of heartbreaking, Dad. But that's what we get for taking a home division fave, and it'll fuck you,
Yeah, division dogs only went 5-0 against the spread today, so
yeah. And we need 3, and tomorrow we need the Raiders for 3-2, and guess what? They'll be the one road division dog that won't cover, so that's just perfect. Just sets up beautifully for us.
Oh God. Kmart, your thoughts on that game?
Bengals lost. That's all I got.
They did.
I feel bad for you guys because I know you guys had Ravens, but I mean, it's kind of just what you expect in a division game, just fighting teeth and nail. But to Chris's point, not being able to get a yard with that rushing attack. But I mean, then again, Bengals, 1st and goal from the 3, then they get no points. So I mean, you can really argue it any way you want. Just a defensive struggle. I don't know if it was a fun game, but it was everything I think a fan would have expected.
Well, that's exactly why you'd think that they'd want to put the nail in the coffin. Like, dude, you just got to
right. Well, he learned from last week. Look what happened, last week by going for it. He got ridiculed and his head was on the line. So this week he played it safe, and now the bettors who had -3 are pissed off at him.
Yeah, he's an idiot. Let's not take the lead. Let's not take the lead last week. Let's just leave it a tie, and let's not make it a 2-score game this week. What up?
But see, I agree with Chris though. He should have reversed it. Like last week is when you kick. This week is when you Mamba mentality and finish it.
It was inches. It was like if you had a 4-inch dick, it was 4th and 4. I mean, I don't even know how the guy
watch the YouTube, kids. Watch the YouTube on that one. No one listening to the pod will understand why everyone's laughing. Watch the YouTube.
Everyone's giggling. Yeah. Well, it's simply a shame if you had -3. Now, you do love that game if you love unders. Chris, do primetime unders ever hit?
Wow. Division unders you mentioned, Matt. Primetime unders. A lot of unders this afternoon. The Eagles stayed under. The Rams and Cowboys stayed under. This one, amazing.
Speaking of dick size, if you like unders, when you get a drive like the Bengals had earlier in the game where they go 8 minutes, 15 plays, and get no points, that will give you the biggest raging boner if you like unders, because that was pretty hot. But I think we buried the lead here. Congrats on Kmart and Neil for another 5-0, dads.
Can't believe it. Dude, I've never had 2. Like that's 2 in one season and two out of 3 straight weeks. That's
2 in one season. Try 2 in 3 weeks, 2 in the first 5 weeks of the season. For you guys to have 2 5-0s and still be in last place in our group is pretty unbelievable, actually.
Well,
so
Neil and I had a heart-to-heart and going into week 3. We're like, we got to take this fucker over. So
that was after what 1 and 4?
After the 1 and 4, I was just like, dude, we got to take this over. We're gonna have to start videoing shit, and I had to fight tooth and nail for the Browns, and we ended up just passing. On the Titans and Kami's game. So, it could have gone either way at the end. So we lucked out. We lucked out. We were talking about the Dolphins for probably 10 minutes on Friday night, and ultimately passed because we didn't know the injury situation. So that's what did we ended up going with?
Cardinals.
Cardinals, yeah,
That's
we
what
ended up just going with the Cardinals. I was just like, guys, I'm feeling bold. Like, just trust me on the Cardinals. Like, it was one of Chris and I were talking about a week ago, right after this pod. I was just like, hey, Browns, Cardinals, Commanders. Those are my three.
And then
Neil, anything to add on the 5-0? Yeah, just like what? I mean, were there any that you guys were really iffy about? That I mean, Browns
Giants. I hated Giants, but Neil and brother Kyle had that.
Me and other Kyle, we both really liked Giants catching 8. Didn't think that they were going to get the win, but I just thought just weird situation all around. It was, I think as they said, it was Green Bay's first time going overseas also, so it was the first time for both. I thought it was just going to play itself into a low-scoring game, right? The total was only, I think, 40.5 going into the game, so to have an 8-point spread on something like that, I thought just was probably just too much and such a methodical pace that both teams were going to play at. So, I felt that I liked taking that dog. And then, Matt, I don't know if we want to get into talking Dallas now because I know Joe was on Rams, and it made a lot of sense, right? It made a lot of
smart guys were on Rams.
It made no sense. Yeah, smart.
With a fade you narrative, which I think is what Joe was trying to say, which was like fade the thing you last saw. But I think it kind of gets into unless that's just
we like trends.
But it's what you are, right? Unless it's what you are. You can fade something if someone has a dog shit week, but the Rams can't stop a pass rush. They're just not that good this year. And I think we go back to it just seemed like free money, right, Matt? I mean, we looked at it. They were free money for you last week. The same thing. You're going to catch 5 on a team that how are you going to move the football, right? You have one play, you break a 75-yarder, if you're the Rams. Otherwise, that was it. You weren't moving the ball at all. The Cowboys were in the backfield all the time. Like, it goes back. You won a game, and I think Cooper Rush completed 10 passes for 102 yards.
I mean, they got spotted like the first 13 points, right?
But are you surprised?
Right off the bat?
No, not at all. Yeah, are you really surprised by that? If you had said that Stafford was going to fumble twice and it was going to lead to a touchdown, I would say, yeah, that sounds about right.
The whole handicap was based on the Rams' offensive line, which you're not going to fix in a week after you just played on Monday Night Football, getting overwhelmed by another good defensive front and pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I mean, I don't care that the whole public was on Dallas because that was the case. I'm sure the books got crushed on that game, both on Cowboys spread, Cowboys money line probably. And, whatever. We'll take it. I mean, the Rams should not be 5.5-point favorites against a team I don't think Dallas is one of the best teams in the league, but they're solid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're average at worst. So,
and that's kind of what, you bring that up, and I don't remember if it was on our Wednesday pod or maybe when Neil and I were talking, but that was my argument with the Packers, even though I didn't like that game, is I think the Packers are a fake, 3-1 before today. Just they're winning, but I don't think they're that good. And I mean, we have our thing on the Rams, but the Cowboys, Neil liked that from Monday, and I'm like, I agree with you, but man, I don't know. That's just a pass for me, but I'm stuck with it. He made good points.
Let's talk about both the Rams and the Packers because both are going to be in kind of similar situations next week. Let's talk about takeaways from this week and how you approach next week. So, I mean, we've seen a couple times now that the Packers are not covering spreads of over a touchdown, right? They don't cover last week against New England and their quarterback mess. They don't cover today against, you guys, the skill position guys, the Giants are running out there are practice squad players. You can't name a wide receiver on their team. Yeah. Barkley left the game, comes back.
Seeing Darius Slayton today was like a blast from 2-3 years ago. I couldn't believe
David Stills, it's Richie James, it's some third string running back that no one's ever heard of scoring. Mm-hmm. So the Packers don't cover against them. Now they're going to go home after London and not get the bye, and they're going to lay over a touchdown to the Jets. So do you just trust, okay, I don't think Green Bay, the way that their offense is running right now, can cover over a touchdown? Or do you feel like you can maybe buy, because that's what people who bet the Rams were thinking, like maybe I'll buy low off a bad performance, a bad loss. How do we approach the Packers going into next week?
I mean, I think I don't remember who was high on the Jets, but I was definitely one of them on their bandwagon in our division preview. So I mean, if I had the bet today, I'm taking the Jets because they've been everything and maybe a little more than I thought, barring their quarterback situation to start the year. So it was a little okay, what's going on? But I mean, they still look good today. They got it done last week. So I guess it's their first test to see how real they really are. But I mean, I'm not laying 7 even with Aaron Rodgers.
So the Jets are 3-2, but let's not forget their wins are against Mitch / Kenny Pickett last week, the Dolphins' third stringer this week, and Jacoby
Skylar
Brissett.
Thompson.
Yeah.
You got to give Skylar Thompson a little bit of love, ex-K-State grad.
What do you think, Chris? I mean, you have the Patriots, or not the Patriots, you have the Packers off of 2 non-covers as big over touchdown favorites, and yet they're still being priced as if they're one of the top teams in the league. They're going to lay over a touchdown at home. What do you think?
Yeah, isn't it? Did I see 8.5 or 9.5? It's kind of high. Yeah,
but I think 7. I think it's just 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tease it. I'm gonna put it in all my money line parlays. I'm gonna tease it down to through the 7 and the 3. That's just how you do it. It's called the Wong teaser. It's unbelievably effective this year. So that's what I'll do probably, and probably money line the Jets on the other side just in case. But no,
Chris, say what you want about teasers, but if you teased Washington up, you won. If you teased Cleveland up, you won. If you teased San Francisco down, you won.
That's what I did today. I finally hit a
one. I mean, really, the only teaser leg that didn't hit was
fucking finally hit a teaser today.
Or if you just took Cleveland plus 2.5, you won. You didn't need it, the tease, but yeah. And if Wentz wasn't a dickhead, you would have won outright on the fucking Washington. But that's just par for the course, and that's why we finish most of our pods with if you bet shit, you might end up smelling like it. So, and that's what we.
I can't be too upset, but kind of a funny thing, and I vented to Chris about this when, I could have had the Niners 2 weeks ago against the Donkeys plus 2.5, and I'm a greedy piece of shit and took the money line, so I lost and made things worse. But I kind of did the same thing today. I had 400 on the Browns, plus 3, so that hit. But then, I parlayed our 5 picks. But of course, what do? I go money line on the Browns, and that's the one that screws me. So it was only 50, but still, it's like, man, that would have been like $800. So it's kind of funny.
And no one wanted to win that game. I mean, you had the Chargers ahead, giving the ball back around midfield, and then you have the Browns go. I mean, the Chargers pull the Chargers, and then the Browns pull the Browns. And I'm sure if there was more time left on the clock, the Chargers would have found another silly way to almost lose. So, okay, let's rewind a little bit. We were going to talk about Packers. We were going to talk about Rams. So Rams also are not covering. Are the Rams 1-4 against the spread? Their only cover was at Arizona, I think.
Think so.
Sounds about right.
So now the Rams are going to host the godforsaken, dead man walking Matt Rule Carolina Panthers. And they're going to lay...
That's the 9.5. That's the one that's 9.5.
Yeah.
I see 10.
I see 10. Wow. I saw 10 earlier too, but yeah.
Yeah, both Circa and Westgate are 10. What do you do? Because like the Rams shouldn't be 10-point favorites over, but this Carolina team is dead. I think they're the worst team in the league.
I think they have. I think they have to be, and it's just not right. I think it's not just record-wise, right? They're the only one-win team. I'm pretty sure.
Houston's the con as well, but
Houston's one, and Washington. So you have 3 teams.
But Houston has a tie. Do not forget that.
Yeah.
Just like us.
So, I'm with you. I think stay away. I would lean and take I think a lean, I would take the Rams and lay the 10 if I had gun to my head had to bet it. Because again, it goes back to what's the sort of the handicap for the Rams? Handicap to the Rams, as long as they can protect Stafford, they should have the pieces to be able to move the ball. And I don't think that Carolina is generating a tremendous pass rush. So I would gun to my head, I would lean it, but I think it's a complete stay away. I can't imagine any scenario, Kyle, where this makes our card next week.
No, I
Not
mean,
even our squares, right? Not even our
I
squares
don't-
are gonna.
I honestly don't look very
Layer
hard
Texas.
at spreads that high in the NFL. I mean, I know
The
it's
double
always
digit. They've
it's
been
always
good.
good to take the dog. I know. I mean, look at today. If like I probably at the beginning of the week when I saw 14 with the Bills leaned, Pittsburgh, but I just knew I couldn't because
The
you
Yeah,
just
but
knew
you guys took
exactly what it
you
was.
guys took the Giants with a big spread. Look at the Falcons with a
But
big
that
spread.
wasn't me. I
covered.
mean, that was me trusting Neil and Kyle.
Yeah.
Like that, I was like, I'll trust you because we need a fifth. But I wanted that pick to be the Commanders. That was like I told Neil if I have things my way, it would have been our 4 minus that in Commanders. So luckily they got that in there.
Oh,
Chris,
man.
could you see people talking themselves into they thought they were buying low on the Rams today? Okay, it's one thing to lose to San Francisco and Dallas, but this is Carolina we're talking about. Could you see people talking themselves into, hey, the Rams, it's like a slump buster, right? Like sometimes you just gotta you
don't have to do anything, but
Go home.
you have to fucking chill out like a fucking square. Yeah, but the squares would. I mean, there's a lot of people down right now that are just thinking thank God Riley and I we left Rams out because like Matt, you kind of convinced us like it's just not worth laying that, and we put the cards in there instead, and they end up being way more scrappy than the Rams were and cover. But I'm not fucking laying. I love fading the Rams, and I'm mad that I faded them last week with the Niners, and I loved it. I'm just mad I haven't faded them more because they just look like shit. So maybe I'll do Panther poop next week. Fuck it.
I still think there's an argument here for the Rams. The drop off in opponent is so significant. I mean, it's you guys, Baker. I'm sitting on the couch earlier because I had Niners in the contest, and it's 7-3, I think, or 10-3. And I look at Gloria. I'm like, man, I'd love an interception here. Next play, pick 6
After the
Baker
block
throws
field
it.
goal, yeah.
He throws it right. Who was it, Kyle, that picked it off?
Number 4.
Was it Mosley before he tore his ACL?
Fuck yeah. So yeah, next. I mean, he's so bad, and I mean, I have to believe that Aaron Donald can overwhelm that Panthers line. I mean, are they playing for this coach anymore? They know he's getting fired. They're going across the country. I'll bet the Panthers after they fire their coach. Until then, you can't touch that team.
Yeah, I don't know because a lot of people said their Washington was kind of dead on Rivera, and they fought hard and they got the lead, and of course they gave up a big play, let Tennessee go take the lead. But that last drive was beautiful. They got first down after first down after first down, first and goal, and of course Wentz, just anally did some things that I'm not going to discuss that kind of hurt. And
wasn't as bad as Brissett throwing a pick in the end. It's like, what is he looking at?
So bad.
What hurt worse, Chris? You trying to take a shit after no stool softener, or watching Wentz, or watching Wentzer on the goal line? What hurt worse?
So physically, the hemorrhoid, but emotionally, Wentz, and I both are equal in stature right now. They both hurt, and I think I'd rather take the hemorrhoid over Wentz doing that to me. Although Riley and I are thinking about Washington again next week, I'm just not going to do it. We're done.
Have you been on Washington 3 weeks in a row?
Yeah. 3 of them are like 8. They make up for like 40% of our L's this contest. It's disgusting.
They're going to beat the Bears.
Keep betting them until Neil and I catch you. Give us a chance.
They're beating the Bears by 2 touchdowns now. You're going to leave them out because it's a Thursday game. But.
How much do you have to hate yourself to bet either side of this coming Thursday game? Washington and Chicago. Everybody thought last week was bad. Oh boy, get your popcorn ready for this one.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is going to be something else.
Did Chris just die?
Chicago covered the closing
They're
line.
scrappy.
I think it closed 7.5.
Total is 39.5.
Oh my God. Let's start other takeaways from today. Let's see.
The Jets are amazing. God, I love them. Sharpest play of the day, plus 3.5.
I almost think you got to throw that out though. Like Teddy getting hurt that early in the game. I don't know if you bet the Jets. I don't know how much you can pat yourself on the back on that one. I mean, the whole game is screwed up when the QB gets knocked out that quickly.
Yeah.
Their offense was pretty effective, though. It's not like they didn't put up any
It
points.
was. You're right. How about? Boy, I don't know.
Mormon cock.
Taysom scoring 2 touchdowns. Is that what you want to talk about?
It was a Mormon.
Zach Wilson.
Between Zach Wilson and they score 7 Mormon touchdowns today.
So I got one, Matt.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is for Chris because this will be right in the wheelhouse. Chris, are you not lining up to catch 7.5 with Pittsburgh next week against the Bucks?
Oh,
Pittsburgh,
big home dogs.
big home dog getting blown out by 35 with Pickett versus Brady, and you only get 7.5.
Well, how about Pickett starting a little brawl too?
That just
into that game,
Chris.
Yeah, that I saw that. Yeah, what could go wrong? The Bucks are crazy, man. There's been a lot of teams that have done that. Got out to big leads. I mean, even the Eagles today up 14-0. They blew the cover. So it's been the year where the live wager, and we preach this all the time on our pods. Look for live wagers, man. Look for those teams where it's kind of fluky and take it. You know, could have done it with the Bengals tonight, down 10-0. Take them live, you know.
Chargers down 14-0.
I was just going to say, same with Chargers.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, that's going to be a crazy one. The Bucks don't get there today. That thing was steamed all the way up to, I think, 10.5. What did that close today?
I saw Bucks as high as 10 and
looks like it closed. I saw 10.5. Looks like it closed 10. But I mean, man, they're up 21-0 going into the fourth quarter, and they go like 3 and out 3 times in a row. And Atlanta is 5-0 against the spread. They don't die.
Are they the only winless or they're the only undefeated team against the spread? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And now they're going to catch 6 at home against the 49ers.
I was going to bring that up.
Fuck.
I already laid it with the Niners.
Oh, really? I might have to.
I had to.
Ride them.
Kyle, it's already down. It's already down to 5.5.
Oh man, you're right.
I mean, you're gonna hear about the Niners injuries. Bosa's got a groin. Mosley tore his ACL.
I didn't hear about Mosley. Like I had already turned the game off at that point.
Armstead's still out. Kinlaw's still out. I mean, the Niners are down like legit 5 starters on defense.
Yeah.
Is it gonna matter? It didn't matter against Carolina because they're Carolina. But I mean, you're telling me they lay 6.5 at Carolina. They're laying 6 at Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta's. I'm telling you, Atlanta's
5.5,
more than a point better than Carolina.
It's in the contest if it's 5.5 right now.
I think it keeps moving.
Were there just the 2, or was there a third 5.5 this week?
3.
Did the third one win?
Seattle was a 2-point conversion away from
getting 2. So 2 and 1.
2 and 1. Yeah, they're hot. That's the number to take, baby.
Yeah, I know. I actually told Neil, I was like, dude, I'm actually really happy and surprised we went 5-0 because when I looked at our card, even though I loved it, I was like, guys, we got 4 dogs and a fave. Like, we probably need to find another fave.
No, you don't, because when you take faves, you lose because they can't hold leads.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we led the show with division dogs go 4-0-1 on contest lines, and 3 of them won outright. So here's one for you. What do you do with Jacksonville at Indy? this week because this is the first revenge game of the season. It's odd that they play each other twice in the first 6 weeks. Jacksonville beats the fuck out of Indianapolis in week 2 at home, 24-0. I mean, everybody watched the Colts on Thursday night. Everybody's been watching the Colts for multiple weeks now. They fucking suck. That is a team that everybody missed going into the season.
They fucking suck.
But
I
they're
don't know if you've watched them,
2-1.
Chris, but Matt Ryan.
Is it like -3 or what? Is it some stupid stinky shit?
Colts
how about
-1.
Colts -1.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
Oh shit.
So you got the Jags who just laid a complete stinker at home. They lose to fucking winless Houston outright. They score 6 points, and now they're going to go on the road, and the Colts have that revenge spot. So what do you do with that one? I mean, it's
fuck that revenge bullshit.
So you go Jags again. They beat them once, they'll do it again.
Dougie P, let's go.
I'm with Chris. I think the Colts just look old and dead, whereas Jacksonville coming off
Old and dead.
Come on, leave Matt Ryan out of this.
How else would you explain it? The coach looks dead and on the sideline. At least and it's a spot right for the Jags, and you can I can see a young team. You can't be surprised that this team was going to have hiccups. The fact that they were laying 6.5, right, Matt? What the look ahead preseason line on this was like? It wasn't even a field. Yeah, it was it was a field goal, right? And so the Jacks are this hot up and comer, or perceived to be the hot up and comer. Okay, you got dick slapped back to reality, and so you're not as high as good as you were. Let's go back to let's focus and let's go to Indy. So I'm with you. I like the Jags.
You're right, Neil.
In this
I
spot.
don't know about you guys, but on Thursday night, I did not know Frank Reich looked so old. He's perfect timing for Halloween. He looks like a skeleton on the fucking
Crypt keeper.
It's like white and weird, and it's like he's all fired up, and it's like, dude, get this guy out of here.
Yeah.
So let's end the show with this one before, we'll have our full preview on Wednesday. Bills are going to lay points in KC.
Shocked.
Neil, your thoughts?
That's what, 2?
It's 2, but it's still. Can you? I was shocked. I really thought that they were going to be a pick 'em. Oh, congratulations, Bills! You went out and beat the crap out of Kenny Pickett. Congratulations! This just seemed to me like you do that activity where you flip it and you say okay, what would the line be? Where you go on if it was a home game for Buffalo, does it make sense that Buffalo would lay 7.5 at home to KC? That doesn't make any that line doesn't make any sense if you flipped it 5 points for home field advantage. I was a little shocked that they made this 2. I know Buffalo's the hot team, and maybe the books know that they're going to get a whole lot of money steaming in on the Bills early on, but it's still Kansas City and they're still at home.
Matt,
no way this touches 3, right?
No.
Last
you
year,
don't think so?
They played Kansas City last year, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Remember my rehearsal dinner?
So.
It was a Sunday night game. I remember Den was all over. I think it was on the Bills, and
He could bet but not come to your wedding.
They dismantled them, didn't they? The Bills fucked them up. It's kind of. Is it going to be the same thing? Are people going to be kind of is Chiefs going to be kind of a little trendy dog, +1, +2? I'm interested to see that. Obviously, they play the Raiders tomorrow night, and we'll see how that goes. I was going to
say, it probably depends on how they look tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bills is probably going to be square as fuck, though, right? Because everyone's going to have the take, oh, this is what they've been waiting all season for.
Yeah.
But, it's honestly, even me, I'm like, this is everything. They lose this game, I could start fading them because I could see them lose some steam. Realizing, fuck, we're still not on their level. We still can't get by the Goliath.
How high does this total get?
80.
What is it?
It's 54.
What is it right?
54.
57.5.
unless there's some sort of weather, like
It was
I would.
54.5 last year. It flew the fuck over. Wasn't it like
Yeah.
30 to 35 or something?
Well, and wasn't it kind of like defensive until the last
It got silly.
second half of the third quarter and all
I
the
think
fourth quarter? And it was just like one after the other.
That was the playoff game, Kyle.
No,
Yeah.
the playoffs
I mean,
didn't
right,
happen.
but they played. Chris was saying they
Oh,
played in regular season. In the
My
regular
bad.
season, the playoff game was the one that went super wonky. One of the greatest.
Regular season was
playoff
over
games.
to fuck the whole game. Yeah.
I'm gonna find it. 2021, probably middle of the season, right?
Yeah.
October.
So the Bills, they won 38-20.
Yeah, 58. Okay.
And it chilled out a little bit in the second half. It was 24-13 Bills at halftime.
Yeah, just
And
explode.
then
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if they take a little bit of under money, I think, and push it down maybe to like 53, 52 and a half, and then it'll just keep getting. Curious if it closes higher or lower than 54.
Primetime overs.
think Den will-
Primetime overs.
what do you think
Primetime
Den will-
overs. What could go wrong?
What do you think Den will be on, Chris?
Chiefs and over.
Well, it's not a prime. Well,
it's not prime time.
right? It's 125.
It's just a 125 game.
It's
Oh,
not
because they
prime
put
time.
Dallas. They put Dallas in prime
it's
time.
still kind
That's
of a
great.
marquee time, just like today we saw
It's
those.
not 125. It'll be Nance and Romo. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. Romo's so fucking dumb, by the way. God. Did you guys hear him on that call today? Saying something like, he just got in it. It's like, dude, we don't need it. You don't even have a playoff win, you fuck. Just chill the fuck out. Fuck.
Oh my God. We do have buys next week. It's kind of interesting to me that Green Bay did not take their buy after London. And neither did the Giants. What are the Giants doing next week?
There's a lot of bye teams next week.
Yeah, there's a few.
Giants are hosting the Ravens.
Oh man, the Giants are hosting the Ravens. That's kind of crazy. So yeah, buys are Lions, Texans, Raiders, and Titans, the free money Titans. So. All right, dads. Oh, hey, let's do a bonus before we get out of here. College. So I've heard two people tell me that their favorite bet next week is going to be Utah minus the points.
No, I already took USC plus 3.5.
What?
Like,
Why
that's
is that
the
a
opposite
shocker
of what
that
you said.
Kmart has already bet Niners and already bet SC. I mean, I can't.
Dude, I have been waiting for this. I have been waiting for this game for like 2 months. This is like the only game I've circled on. Like, they get by this, I'm going to be like, okay, now I'm excited about the season. The fact they're a dog in this game, and I understand they're on the road.
Does that not smell like ass to you?
Oh, for sure. But I mean, it's already gone from 3.5 to 3. Like, and I already locked in the 3.5, so I'm already feeling good. Like,
Wow.
to me, like, and I'm probably everything I made this week, I'm probably gonna put on the money line because I just don't give a shit.
I'm pretty sure Kmart has like an algorithm set up that as soon as the book opens the line in his account, it just auto bets.
Yeah.
250.
Like, yeah, I already
250 Niners, 250 Trojans.
Yeah.
I mean, it paid off this
Doesn't
week
that-
with the
doesn't
Niners,
even
so
have to
I
worry.
just went back to the well. I'm like, hey, even if it loses, I'll make it back. It's fine because I stopped following idiots and I'm actually winning money again.
Let's go. Yeah, that's very interesting. It's one of those, Matt. It's the Apple bomb, right? 2 ranked teams lay the points with the home. Very interesting. I think. I guess we'll wait till later in the week and see how the betting. I'm interested to see if people are going to take Utah or not, or if how trendy it's actually going to be.
Are you serious?
I mean,
you think?
Yeah,
I mean,
if
USC
Utah would have beat UCLA, like, see, that's what, man, and everything's setting up perfectly for us to UCLA in November. But, man, this game would have been even better had Utah, won at the Rose Bowl.
And I think,
Chris,
Matt, I think where you're going, what's the ticket count on the Trojans this weekend?
at least 70%.
I was going to say over under 72.5%, right? The ticket count. I'm not going to say what the money will be, but this one screams to me by Friday, we're going to look at this and it's going to be like
Yeah, but everybody was
77%
on
of
the
the
Cougs
tickets.
last week until Saturday. Then all the sharps came in on SC and took that fucker back up to almost 14. Like everybody I heard was, "Oh, Cougs, look ahead for USC," and the real look ahead was fucking Utah because that's what they were. That's where they knew their test was, and they overlooked the Bruins.
If it's not over 70% by the time we record on Wednesday, I'll send a yug and a shot because people are going to see.
I don't think it's by Wednesday. I don't think it's by. Is it by Wednesday though? See, I don't think it'd be by Wednesday. Say, I'm with Chris. Like if we understand that like it's only not just say professional bettors, but people who are actively looking. As I said, by Friday night, the ticket count gets to 72.5%.
It will all week.
You think it'll just be all week? It's just going to be people are going to open it up tomorrow.
It's the number 6 team in the country who's undefeated getting points.
What could go wrong?
With the best offense in the nation, duh.
Of all time.
This isn't the Dodgers, guys. Like, honestly, it's their like the first 2 weeks I was talking shit on their defense, and it's their defense that's bailing them out in the last few weeks. Like their defense has impressed.
The defense has gotten much better, I will say.
Yeah, because when you get offensive linemen on the other team getting kicked out for targeting.
I was at the game, and even I was like, "What the fuck?" Like,
yeah,
I didn't like the call.
I tweeted it. I said, I think Joe Ranieri tweeted that. Yeah, real shame. USC never gets any breaks. Just a damn shame.
Vince Young's knee was down.
Oh God. On that note, all right, everybody, we'll be back on Wednesday and we'll look ahead. Maybe we'll talk more about that game. We'll see if there's a move.
That'll be fun.
We'll see what's going on with that one. That's got to be on Fox, right? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
It's the 5 p.m. Fox primetime game.
Mm-hmm.
Westgate actually opened at 4, and it's down to 3.5. Interesting. Circa opened it at 3.5, went to 4, 3.5, 3, 4.
Well, you guys should come on our college pod on Thursday so we can recap all this.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on later in the week. But Wednesday, we'll look ahead to week 6. We'll have, I think, everybody. Chris, I know yours is still pending tomorrow night. Joe 3-2, my entry 3-2, Kyle and Neil 5-0. So we'll see if we can get everybody. Everybody's in good shape. The leader, the guy that was in first place, went 2-3.
Nice.
So one of the guys that was tied for second went 3-2 or something like that. I think the leader is going to be 21-3-1. So,
man, it's a long way to catch up. 8 points, 7.5 points behind him.
One more week.
2/3 of the season left. It is a marathon, not a sprint. So, all right, everybody, we'll catch you later this week. Thanks for listening. Chris, just remind everybody what happens when you bet on poop, a.k.a. Carson Wentz.
I was just going to say Carson Wentz.
You might get first and goal with lots of time left, and they'll throw a pick, and you'll die, and it's fine. We'll live in with dads and moms.